26, zoning public hearing. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. At this time, I'd ask Commissioner Gwen Flowers Taylor from District 1 to deliver the invocation, and Vice Chair James Dutton from District 2 to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
If you'll join me, please. Father, we come to you this evening in thanksgiving, thanking you for the rain that this county and this state has really needed over this past winter. We ask your grace and your mercy tonight as we make decisions for the betterment of Spalding County. We ask your discernment and ask us to have clean thoughts about the work that we're about to do. These things we ask in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Join me to pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item.
Personal privilege.
This is an opportunity for me to do some stuff that I'm really pleased with and proud of. NACO, which is the National Association of Counties across the nation, there's 3,069 counties in the state, the United States, had the opportunity to lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. I was selected to be in the two persons, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, to be able to do that and take the wreath and place it in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier. Although you see it was a terrible, what some people said was a terrible day, both cold and snow, rain, sleet. And I saw a couple people slip and fall, and I was worried to make sure I didn't slip and fall and embarrass anybody. But for me, it was an absolutely wonderful day, and I was pleased, honored, and truly humbled by having the opportunity. I had seen, I think, 3 presidents do this of ours, and it was an honor beyond bucket list or something we try to get done. This was well beyond the bucket list to be able to get done. And I thank everybody at ACCG and Dr. Ledbetter for making this happen. So big day for Clay Davis, and big day for, and truly for Spalding County to be represented out of the 4 people that went and did it for all of Georgia.
That's really cool, Clay. That's really cool. Thank you for representing us.
Yeah, it really was cool for us. All right, item number 3, new business. 1, consideration of appeal of a denial of an alcohol ID badge. There's no public hearing is required on this item. This is the first of these appeals that we've had. I would ask that Director Allen to introduce the item, and the county attorney, Ms. Wyndham, to further describe the process and the criteria for this. This will be the first time, so let's make sure we all understand what's happening.
So if you recall, last summer, I believe it was, we passed the alcohol server permit ordinance, which they go upstairs to our office and apply for the badge. If they're selling alcohol at a convenience store, gas station, grocery store, restaurant, whatever it may be, and they apply for the badge. It goes through a background check. We get the background check back, and we see whether it was on the basis of the criteria you have there on the screen there, based on what it says on the background check, is either denied or approved. Occasionally we do have one where it is denied, and she is here, Ms. Hampton is here tonight. If you want to speak to her to go over her case with this, but she is, per the ordinance, there is an appeal at the very end of it where a citizen can come appeal to the Board of Commissioners if they were denied for an alcohol badge. I have the information in front of you where it shows where she was charged and convicted of an alcohol violation last year, And per number 3 there, it's within the 2 years of the incident, then they can be denied for the badge. So conviction was in November of 2025, so we're well within that 2-year period.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, it would be appropriate to allow the appellant to speak. I will swear her in as a witness, because this is a hearing, and then when Mr. Allen gives his testimony regarding the timeline of events, I will swear him as well.
okay,
We become, just because this is our first one, we become sort of the trier of
You are
fact
the
in this.
trier of fact, yes. This is an adjudication by the governing body.
okay. So let's make sure everybody understands that process and we do it the way we want to. All right, Ms. Hampton? If you'll follow the direction from our county attorney.
Ms. Hampton, you'll stand at the microphone.
Yep.
And you'll just give your name and then your address and the information. But this is testimony, so I want you to, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So,
Yes.
now, you can tell the board whatever you would like to, and they have the opportunity to ask questions of you as well.
My name's Lynette Hampton. I live at 1101 West Taylor Street in Griffin, Georgia. I didn't even know that was a thing. For the past 14 months, I've worked at the Valero at 361 North Expressway. They never required us to get a server permit to sell alcohol.
At the Valero?
Yes, sir. They just transferred ownership about a week ago. I've got a great opportunity at Superfood down on North Highways 3. And they're the ones that informed me that it was required. I thought it was just because of the location being further outside the city, but because, yeah, I mean, I've sold beer for the past the DUI was back in July. I got convicted November 21st.
So it was a DUI, is that what?
Yes, sir.
And, sorry to be the attorney on the board
Go.
here, but, so you pled guilty to DUI?
Yes.
Where was the DUI?
It was here in Spalding.
Okay.
I'm on probation. I've done DUI school, community service.
I have to admit, I was caught a little, I didn't remember that we were doing, people in gas stations, getting alcohol
Yeah.
licenses.
And in my view, I know I got the DUI, but I can still legally go buy a 6-pack, but now I can't sell one.
You can't drink it because you're on probation.
I can buy it.
I'm looking at some of the wording here, and this might be a different conversation. But I'm not really in love with some of the words that, just the way this is written. Things like, person who has been pled guilty more than once or has been convicted of a violation of the provisions of this chapter or any similar provisions from any other jurisdiction. Boy, I don't like that. Like any other jurisdiction relevant to here, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, in Haiti it says XYZ. Wait a minute, that's another, but technically that's another jurisdiction, right? Like, I don't think that's the intent. I think
No,
it's
I agree.
the state or federal or, you know what I'm saying, if she, sorry, again, that's probably not germane to this, but I just,
Nope.
same thing up in number 3, it also talks about, for the purpose of this section, an indictment, a plea of guilty or a plea of nolo shall constitute a violation. You can indict a ham sandwich. Like, I don't know if that should, just saying. Again, maybe not germane to what we're doing.
Similar violation though, so. in
I mean, we
reference-
did workshop this, so
Oh, yeah, there's no question.
on multiple occasions.
I'm not saying this isn't what we have right now, but we should
Look at it.
take a swing at this.
Okay. All right. Does everybody understand the situation that we've got here? She's within the realm of the time?
So 5 says she can't have you can't have a permit if you're on felony probation, but misdemeanor probation's okay. From 5 here, right?
Right. The one that most pertains to Ms. Hampton is number 3.
Number
there.
3.
So it would have to be 2 years from her DUI.
So beyond November of 2027.
That was in July, so it would be July 2020.
The conviction was.
Yeah, but I think it's dated from the conviction.
It
Let's
is.
see, alcohol.
You're right.
Okay,
Conviction is November.
Or conviction due to a violation of that's right. Yeah.
I don't see any,
I don't have any questions of her.
yeah, and I
I
don't,
don't see any wiggle room in our rule here. If she's pled guilty, I don't.
okay. All right, anybody have any questions for,
I just don't like this setup. I mean, it almost feels like double jeopardy to me, like we're charging, like she's already been charged, and I'm like, feel like a judge up here, I'm fixing to charge you again, but we did vote that ordinance in, and it's within the timeline, it's just,
okay, yeah,
We were sort of mimicking Fayette County with this. Does Fayette County require their
Yes.
gas station
They
folks to? I mean, I knew that, like, I've been at restaurants in Peachtree City and they wear like a little,
They do.
and I went, oh, that's
It's
a
for
neat-
any and all sales of alcohol.
any and all sales. So the guy at the liquor store also got the
That
same
is
thing.
correct.
Even grocery stores.
That is
Yep.
correct.
At a grocery store, as someone who is no fun at parties because I'm a teetotaler, at a grocery store, if I was to try to buy, a bottle of wine or something, does somebody have to come over?
Yes.
That has that, as opposed to
Yes.
like you're at. Do
The
they?
machinery won't let you do it.
Sure,
until
somebody's got to check
comes
my
and lets
ID.
you out. Yeah, somebody comes and checks your ID.
But does a grocery store, does every single person there have to have one of these, or do they like grab the manager?
They
on
also
duty
have
that's
to be
got
over
one?
the age of 18, so it's,
Yes.
if they were under the age of 18, they would have to get someone else to check you out anyway, and that's been the case for as long as I can remember.
That's correct, because state law does allow for a 16-year-old to sell alcohol at a grocery store.
Okay.
all right. Do we need to swear David in?
Yes, Mr. Allen does need to give you sworn testimony, just so that we're being fair to
All right,
to all sides. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you'll give, the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. So we received this server permit, it looks like on January 22nd of this year. Like I said, it goes through a process of a background check and all that. She did disclose at the bottom, of course I redacted out some of this due to privacy, but that she had gotten the DUI, but the background check obviously confirmed that as well. So based on, this board has some wiggle room, but we don't, so we were just sticking totally with number 3 there, and knowing that the conviction was in November of this last fall, she is well within the 2-year period, so.
So here's why the indictment bit jumped out at me. Our state court here has this really, really, really excellent alternative court. That's a 16-month program, and it's specifically designed for veterans and those with mental health issues and addiction issues, but it sort of takes anyone that it can help. And if you make it through that 16-month program, that's totally free, then they dismiss your case. But before then, you've been indicted. And I just think that if you're in one of those programs, our rule here says that, yeah, you're still not eligible, but that might be another incentive. And I know that program right now needs more participants. So that
This is
might
S3.
be S3 oversees it. That's
Yes.
right.
Just, this wasn't in, what's this in
It was in the state
was
court.
in-
state court?
I don't believe,
Judge
believe so.
Howell was the.
Oh, it's Judge Howell?
Yeah, this is
Yes, I
city
believe
court.
this was in the municipal court
Yes,
for
it
the
was.
city of Griffin.
It was on Solomon Street in the city of Griffin.
Hence the any other jurisdiction.
correct,
Yes.
Still, you could bind it over from there and
you could have.
get into the program. She's gonna need more help getting into that than what we can give. And she's not eligible for a public defender to appeal the current conviction.
Correct, and she's 6 months downrange.
No, because it was November, right? There's still, just talking to you guys,
Yes, yes.
obviously, not talking to anybody else, talking to you guys. There's still a procedure through which she could hire an attorney to undo her conviction there, move it to the state court, and then ask to get into that program. If we then change this indictment idea, because indictment is an accusal with extra steps, that's not anything close to a conviction. And in fact, we might even put in a
Well,
provision for.
the indictment actually refers to the violation, the definition of a violation.
Right.
The section itself says has been convicted of a violation.
And Ashley, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We had
Okay.
another one where they were accused but not convicted yet, and it went through because you're
Right.
innocent until proven guilty. So.
Yeah, so the indictment refers to the definition of violation. It does not refer to
Okay.
the
Now I'm
requirement
back
of a
on,
conviction.
now I'm back on plan here. So I think in this instance, we're at no, because
Yes.
the facts that are presented to us say this, she's in violation, she couldn't. However, there is a way for her to undo the conviction there, move it to this, state court, see if she can get into that. You-
That's got nothing to do with us.
I'm just
Yeah,
talking it out with you guys.
Oh, you talking to us now?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay, I just was trying to make sure.
Okay, yeah, all right. Any other discussion we need to, among ourselves?
Mr. Chairman, we poured, now I
Yeah.
understand this ordinance
I
is
remember that
not
now, Stephanie.
perfect, but we poured everything that we had into this. And we tried to be reasonable in the requirements, and, let's not forget that there's an expectation of the people who we allow to provide mood and mind altering chemicals to people in our community. So, I don't know if David's finished, but
Yes, I am.
I just don't see that we have any other option but to follow our ordinance.
Do we want to enter that copy of the certified conviction into the record? Is that a thing?
Yes.
For the trier fact?
Yes.
David, can you enter that into a record for us?
Yes. You talking about the program?
The
No.
certified, the copy of the conviction.
Yes.
All the stuff all the backup paperwork. Okay.
Yes, so, Mr. Allen has a certified copy from the court of the conviction, and we would like to enter that, into evidence for you as the trier of fact as, county's exhibit A.
And we'll note for the record as well that she's also said that that is a thing that happened, that she did plead guilty
Correct.
in November.
And did also include that on her application. She was
Yes.
forthcoming
Forthright
in her application as well.
All right, anything?
Your decision tonight would be whether to uphold the denial of the server permit or reverse it. So you would need a motion to do whatever you choose to do.
James?
Yeah, I think according to this reading, unless she can figure a way to undo, I think according to what we've got here, I think we're gonna have to deny.
Okay.
I don't think we have a choice.
I have a-
So
Is that a
I'm-
motion?
I move to deny the appeal.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Item number 4, other business. Second reading and ordinance for adoption of official zoning map updated of the Spalding County per Appendix 4, zoning Article 23, Section 2302. We had a public hearing in January.
And this is just to update the map to match the zoning changes.
This reflects everything from 2025.
Motion to adopt.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
The next two are the same thing. We're just changing the maps to.
Yes.
So all the rezonings that we did from AR to whatever PDT, all of that is included in this, right?
Anything from calendar year 2025
All right,
is included.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, item number 2, second reading and ordinance for adoption of urban proximity overlay map of Spalding County per Appendix 4 zoning, Article 4, Section 413.
No public hearing required. That was heard on the January 22nd. Mr. Allen, the request from the board was to develop a map that surrounds the city of Griffin with an urban proximity map. Will you bring this back to us?
Yes, sir. So this map, because we cannot find another recorded or approved copy, as an abundance of precaution, we're going to approve this now, but I have that, what you're talking about, on the agenda for the planning commission in March, and you should get it in April. The revised map showing more urban proximity area.
More than this.
Yes. Around Griffin.
All right, I would entertain a motion to adopt the urban proximity overlay map.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I do not like approving stuff that's not done. My understanding is that if we are supposed to have the urban proximity map that we are approving, this is not in fact the appropriate map. This map is not what has already been designated. So we'll vote on it now, and then in 2 months, we'll vote on it again. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Great point. Great point.
So, I mean, I don't know if there's a burning bush somewhere that we need to hit a deadline on this, but it just kind of, it's duplicative for us to do this when we know this is not the correct map.
This is a procedural issue you're talking about. We don't have the map in front of us to be able to approve.
Well, you do, but it reflects what is urban proximity now. So the directive for March and April is to add to that new urban proximity area. So that's what you will see in a few months is new areas that have not been urban proximity before.
So between now and then, we are going to add more urban
Yes.
proximity. But as of this moment, this is the correct map. This is
Correct.
the urban proximity.
Yes.
So this is step one to get it all the way around versus the ones we've already got done.
The urban
This has
prox,
been the urban proximity
the
map.
urban proximity map you're looking at is what has been adopted for several years.
That's what I'm
Wait a
saying.
minute, wait, hold on. However, the official copy, as adopted years ago with the appropriate signatures, cannot be located. So, in order to avoid an application where we would be challenged on the existence of the official map, we need to have this adopted and then allow David to come back with a supplemental map.
But that's a different story now.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. We're all up to date? All right. Do I have a motion?
Yeah.
You do.
All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, number 3, second reading and ordinance for adoption of official S2 District Spalding County Watershed Protection Map update of Spalding County per Appendix 4 zoning, Article 21, Section 2110.
No public hearing required. Director Allen, please
This is your
update.
last of the maps for the evening. This was also approved on January 22nd. Nothing changed on this map as far as boundaries or anything in the watersheds, but what it used to be is, I know affectionately as the big brown blob. We have greatly improved it, as you can see on the screen, with designating what watershed is what and the different information you need on there. So the map hasn't changed the boundaries, but it's a whole lot more readable than it was. So.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to adopt the official S2 District Spalding County Watershed Protection Map?
So
Update.
moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so is this the watershed map that we've been operating from?
Yes, yes and no. The boundaries have not changed, so we operate off the old one we had with the boundaries have not changed from this. This, as of last summer, is the one we've been operating off of. It's just a whole lot more readable. Nothing
It
actually,
subdivides it into different
right.
subsections.
What about the area, there's no watershed below us, below the city of Griffin, like level with 5? That whole area
Yeah,
is
it looks
just,
like me and you don't have a watershed. That's,
So these are the drinking water watersheds where it protects the drinking water.
okay, but there's nothing down at the bottom, that's what I'm trying to.
No, ma'am, there's
It's naked.
nothing in the southeast or due south of Griffin, or due east of Griffin.
So, one more question, not about this. So this watershed area that we're talking about, is this the watershed area that we were talking about with the data centers?
Yes, number 3, the Wallace Jackson was right there in the corner where Eli is moving the cursor right now. That was on the very corner of the Butts County Toalaga River water supply watershed, number 3 there.
Okay.
which
This
is why
is-
the river keepers had to come and get involved when they were.
But this is exactly the same we discussed at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's-
We're not moving the
No,
bound.
no, sir.
Okay,
They're defined. All right, that was my question, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
all right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 4.
Mr. Chair, number 4, lift from the table, consider the approval of Minerva's master plan for property located in parcels 244-02011A and 244-02011. The proposed development will consist of 59 lots of approximately 6,000 square feet. Lift from the table, application 2314S, Minerva Spring Lake LP, owner parcels 244-02011A and 244-02011, approximately 30.694 acres located in land lot 169 of the 3rd Land District. The applicant is requesting a special exception to allow cluster dwellings traditional design. This property is currently zoned PDD, Planned Development District. Lift from the table, application 2312V, Minerva Spring Lake LP, owner, parcels 244-02011A and 244-02011, approximately 30.694 acres located in land lot 169 of the 3rd Land District. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the front, side, and rear setbacks. This property is currently zoned PDD, Planned Development District.
No public hearing is required because it was heard in 2023 and 2024. Option to lift from the table.
Do we have a map for this?
Yeah, go ahead and scroll down, Levi, if you would, or I
Alright.
keep calling you Levi, Eli.
Do I have a motion to lift?
So, motion, well, I don't know if I need to ask this first. I want to know how we got to this place. Do I motion to lift? Motion to lift item number 4.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand.
No.
4-0,
Sorry,
motion carries.
I was-
We've lifted it. Now we'll have a discussion of them.
So there's another site plan. Yeah, there it is. So this is the 30-acre one, and then later on in the agenda, we have the 9-acre one. We do have Mr. Davison here from Minerva. They did provide a PowerPoint as well to kind of go over the recent history of it. Admittedly, I caught on the last end of this coming into the job at August 2024. This was being considered to be lifted in the fall of 2024. But I'll gladly answer any questions I can. And like I said, Mr. Davison does have a PowerPoint as well.
All right, Ms. Davison, if you'd please come forth and speak to us.
Mr. Davison, if you would, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. I'm Brian Davison of Minerva, USA, 2292 Henderson Mill Road, Atlanta. To the commissioner's question of why it's been set aside and tabled and brought back up. It was set aside at the time because you were concerned about the transfer of the trustee of the sewer facility from the county to the water authority. That has now been agreed with the general manager and county's attorney, and I think the documents are going to the water authority board this month for approval of that. So that process has evolved, but it's been very positive and.
Stephanie, I'm
all
just
good.
making sure this is,
According to the general manager, there have been many discussions. They are on the same page, and it should be on the March agenda for the water authority.
okay, all right. Now, everybody remembers, this was, we weren't gonna approve these until we had the water, service area taken care of. It appears
yeah,
now we
I
have,
speak for Mr. Johnson, however.
okay,
I'm,
okay, go ahead.
the one, so there's two parcels and we can kind of talk about all of them at the same time, is that all right? The one to the north there, the smaller one, that one makes sense, but I know it might sound like an arbitrary line in the sand, but the Jordan Hill line there, making cluster dwellings to the west of that, puts them that much closer to Cherokee Rose, and we've already got so many folks that live all over Sun City, but especially in that top corner, complaining about the noise from the shooting range. It would be and a lot of those complaints aren't just I want them to stop shooting. It's I'm selling my house. I didn't know there was a range. You know, like when I bought, nobody told me that there was a range this close that I was going to constantly hear freedom pops, and I think it would be very unwise. I mean, I get why the developer wants it, and I want to be perfectly clear. Minerva is a great builder that makes great. You know, Sun City Peachtree has just been a rousing success for the people who live there too. This one isn't about Minerva; it's just the proximity. That's my issue with it. And again, it's not.
Okay.
It's too close to.
You believe the
Cherokee.
sound
Yeah.
will be increased by,
I think it'll be increased for the Sun City residents and any residents for houses they built there. Will also be that much closer and have that much less, forest between them and the shooting range. So I don't think it's a good place to build houses. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. It's not that they're not going to do a good job. You guys have always knocked it out of the park, but it's the location for me.
David, thoughts on this?
I know that's been an issue for quite a few of the Sun City people that I've heard is taking down trees and greater noise. I mean, it does have a lot of open space. There seems to be some decent looking houses on the houses that were provided, because this is the
Can you go one back to the plot?
special exception for a clustered dwelling, so.
All right, Ms. Davidson, thoughts on this sound issue?
Sure, yeah, Cherokee Rose is an issue for everybody in the area, there's no doubt. We had the same issue come up with the Griffin Gun Club. And the request was made, I think it was actually by Commissioner Davis to ensure that a condition of the zoning was that we added notification in any sale offering or actual purchase contract that identifies that as an issue. And that basically eliminates the ability of anybody to come in and say, we didn't know it was there. I'm totally fine with that. We'll do that anyway, so it's a legitimate request. And then as far as the sound, I don't know. The trees are a buffer, but we'll still keep the periphery of trees, but you replace it with physical houses and structures. So it's a little bit like on an interstate when, the sound comes through the trees and then they build a 20-foot high physical wall and the sound goes up instead of straight across. My opinion would be that it'll probably reduce it for those people that are directly across, but I'm not a sound engineer. I think we met with the people that live, in the houses at the end of the cul-de-sac at the, and stood in their houses. Everybody was fine with this one. The concerns were more about the one on the north side of them. And we walked behind their houses, looked at view angles and everything. At that time, now this goes back 2 years, we made a bunch of changes to the plan. So we resubmitted, the revised plan that's here actually meets their request. We pushed houses back. They wanted a combination of the upper story canopy retained, and then we have also pledged to plant trees along the top of a berm that's currently just barren behind their house. So
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
a lower story canopy and an upper story canopy. So that was a concern. The other side of the road, everybody was fine with.
All right, now hold it, when you talk about the upper and lower, are you talking about the north one or the east one, west one?
The parcel to the north, correct, yeah.
I'm more interested in the noise coming from the west.
Right.
And-
Yeah,
and-
the people, I guess the point was, all the people at that meeting had no concern about that at that time, so. Yeah, I think it's absolutely subjective. I mean, what will stop sound better?
Yeah.
You know, pine trees with a bunch of, maybe if it was solid evergreens that had a low canopy or something, maybe, but pine trees tend to be sort of nothing for the first 40 feet, and the canopy's up on the top. I'm not sure that helps dramatically with sound. I would guess, again, I'm not a sound engineer, that the houses will probably create a better structural sound wall than the
Well,
houses will.
the forest there is impassably thick. And so it's not just pine trees. It's very, very thick undergrowth that goes, 10, 15 foot up. So it's not just, a bunch of blank pine trees. It's a very thick forest. And so again, this sort of inside the square, it seems like a good enough plan. I have concerns about the cul-de-sacs so that, our emergency vehicles can still get in and out, but, I don't, even in notifying new people who are moving in, of the sound, I still worry about the people that are in the current Sun City. That said, there might be a way to alleviate that with, like we're doing with the data centers, with requiring acoustic walls, you know what I'm saying? Like, that might be, cost prohibitive to you guys, you know what I'm saying?
I think the sound, if I know, I don't know the sound from every house in Sun City, obviously. It's probably dramatically differs house by where the house sits. There's some that sit up higher that are more open, that probably have a pretty open air shot directly across to them. There's others, like the ones across the road that you see on the east side of Jordan Hill, sit down below the road somewhat. So they already are nestled in a little more. The sound impact is kind of, I think, probably varied around Sun City. I think we've got a few residents here that probably would opine to that. So, yeah.
But that would certainly alleviate my concerns.
Are you talking about on the west side or the east side of this subdivision?
So I'm,
It's on the
again,
northwest side.
yeah, I'm worried about the folks that are on the east side of Jordan Hill. I'm worried about the folks that would move into these houses, but they're gonna have been required to be notified
Yes,
that you're gonna
yes.
hear this in the woods. So I'm kind of less, like, ideally, that acoustic dampening would be sort of a back fence on the west side here.
Yes, that's what I'm.
But like, that's a lot more fence than just doing it sort of a little bit to the north, everywhere that's not a, like you see where like the J is there, we go from sort of the north to the J, and so not necessarily, or maybe to the N, because that's gonna be your retention pond there, right? So that's gonna be a paved, or not paved, but like a
Open area.
open area, right? And that, of course, would add a lot more privacy to those houses and to that paved area as well, so that folks driving by aren't looking at people's back doors and stuff, so.
That's what, you're thinking on the Sun City side?
Yeah, on Jordan Hill. But again, ideally it would be
I'm okay
on the
with
west
that as-
side, on the sort of a big
Yeah,
back
I'm on-
fence for everybody.
I'm talking on the west side, from
I'm
north
okay
to
with it on the
south.
Sun City side with the caveat, it's not my land there, so The challenge would be if some of those people didn't want a fence. It would either be on their back of their lots or it would be on county right away. I don't have control over either one of those. That's the only.
No, so,
No,
so
we're-
there's a green strip right there between the back of the houses and Jordan Hill Road.
Yep.
So you could put it there.
How about on the back of those lots?
Yeah.
So to leave, because I want to leave the green strip
Sure.
vegetated, obviously. Yeah, I'm.
And that could be like a built-in fence, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
no, that's fine. I think that'll.
But
benefit
that already
everybody.
has trees on it.
And to be honest, that'll benefit those houses from the traffic on Jordan Hill as
exactly,
well, so.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we,
Up there at that gray area, up in the very north. all the-
so that one property is gonna get it on its eastern side, and then all the way down to the eastern side to that break. You see where
What-
the,
or
where
gonna
that,
get
there's a
what?
break in lots there?
Like a acoustic type fence.
Yeah, sort of like that they do on the side of the highways.
Yeah, but how is that gonna help the people that are there? Cherokee Road's on the other side of that.
He's not worried about those people, he's worried about Sun City people. If we
Yeah.
moved it over to the west, then, which is what I originally thought we were talking about, that we would take care of these people also. Put the, put the sound thing up there from,
Can I
you
make
know.
a suggestion?
Yeah.
Both sides? And
I-
mean,
We don't wanna make an impossible bar for you guys. If you're okay with putting that in the whole U there, boy howdy. Yeah. Sold. That's really my only concern.
That's overkill.
What would this look like to me? Okay, all right,
fencing.
I'm okay with both having it on the west side from top to bottom. Some
Yeah.
kind of a sound thing that,
I think he's right. If you did it on the east side too, it's gonna increase
Yeah.
the value of those houses, it's gonna protect them from the road, it's gonna provide a second for
Yeah.
Sun City. I think this would be a really good for
Alright,
the
so-
neighborhood.
I mean,
East and
it'll
west.
cost, I don't know, $5,000 a house, but it'll probably add $5,000 a house
Oh,
to
yeah.
value. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
for me, it's financial wash, so it's a fair request, I think. Yeah.
all right, so we're talking east and west, putting something up that the community developer, director of
Well-
community development approves.
Can you
Yeah.
scroll up just a little bit so I can see the very top? Yeah, so we go, how do we define this?
I could do the lot numbers, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so the western side of 8, down to 26, and then
The house went from 125 to 130.
it would just be weird if those houses didn't get it, you know?
All right, I didn't see that, did you okay with it?
Yeah, if we did like a U there.
Okay,
But you don't have to on the northern side. That wouldn't do anybody. I mean, if you wanted to, just for uniformity, but
Yeah, my guess is we'd probably do that anyway.
all right. David, you okay with being able to approve something that's gonna be a noise barrier?
Are you designating it by lots, Brian?
I think we've just said the backside of 8, well, all 8 through 41 and the side of lot 1, whatever that is, the east side of lot 1.
yes.
Okay,
Also, if this is approved, I want to remind you of the approval conditions on page 164 of your staff report from
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, okay.
I want to remind you of, if approved, of the staff conditions and planning commission conditions on September 26, 2023. It's found on page 164 of your staff report here. They would still be,
Yes, this is
Right.
addition two,
right.
yes.
So is this barrier going to be at the property line behind these or at the end of the property proper? Because when we're looking at
Yes,
this from north to south, if north is, the northeast end is where the entry is. So the northwest side, beyond the housing units, right now is all trees. and there's a stream buffer that goes through there. So all of that land, that piece of property is basically a long rectangle running parallel to Jordan Hill Road. All of that is open space. Is that gonna be trees, or are you gonna landscape that?
It's all left as trees, yeah.
Yeah, they're only gonna bulldoze what they need to.
Well, I appreciate you making the efforts for the sound barrier.
But I don't
You
want
know,
somebody's
I'm-
backyard to be looking into a sound barrier. When you look out the back door, I don't wanna see,
It's just
you
like
know,
a back fence.
Huh?
It's just like a back fence.
It's like a patio fence, but the option to that, and
It is a
that's
little
why I was
thicker, a little
asking,
higher.
would the fence be along the property line?
Yeah.
Which, you know, of course, if it's along the property line, that's gonna be a bit different, because I mean, obviously, you're not gonna go the entirety of that, but if the whole purpose is to block off sound to anything going beyond that, anything that you put on that western side is going to deter sound.
It's a shorter fence if I go to the very west property line. The downside is, you see where that creek comes through there? I think that's a perennial stream.
Yeah, I
I have
don't.
to keep the buffers, and I wouldn't be able to put a fence in that whole section.
Yeah,
That's the challenge.
And if it's on the property line, it doesn't, yeah, yeah.
right, I see what you mean, Brian. Yeah,
But if it's also like, if it's at the individual lot property lines as opposed to the property line, then it becomes sort of a feature of the backyard. It's like a back fence for everybody that comes with the house. You know what I'm saying? Like that, as opposed. So I think that
like a
that
private-
adds more value to them as opposed to, oh, through the woods over there is a fence. You know what I mean?
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's good, and we're doing everything we can to try to raise the values of the houses, so.
And we appreciate that.
all right, so, we all agree that we'll allow, David to approve. We're gonna say he has to do it, and the specifics of what that looks like, the Director of Community Development will
Yeah.
say yes to that.
Acoustic dampening that meets the needs.
Yes. All right, David, you're square with that? All right, do I have a
Then
motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with staff conditions and the added condition of the acoustic dampening wall as discussed tonight.
All right, is this for, the motion
This is in-
regarding
Right.
the approval of items 2314S, the special exception, and 2312V, the variance, and the master plan?
We can only vote on one thing at a time.
Yeah, I think we,
All
I
right,
think, because
so-
we got to lift from the table and then
Correct,
each
so
one.
could you, and there was sorry, please forgive me, there was a reason why I asked, which one are we approving first?
So this is 2314S, right? Is that that's what
Well,
we lifted,
because
right?
the one that's number 4 doesn't give us a letter. Lifting from the table is just lifting from the table.
That is correct.
Okay. So, this is lift from the table Minerva's master plan, and that's what we're going over, but it doesn't have a number on it.
Okay, so then the motion is to approve the master plan for the property as stated.
23-14S is a special exception for a certain size
Yes.
of lot and certain architectural
We
requirements.
get to that next. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So you're approving the master plan.
With conditions and the additional condition of the acoustic dampening wall that we, as discussed.
Thank you, Mr.
East and
Chairman.
west,
Yes.
okay?
So in a U shape,
Yeah, you
east,
shaped, all
east,
right.
south, and west.
So the
no.
motion by Commissioner Dutton is to approve the master plan for, the Minerva project.
With,
At
with
this
the staff
property.
conditions
And?
and the fence.
Yes.
And those
Sound
conditions should
dampening.
be applicable to all of the applications.
Yes, we just got to do them.
yeah, all right, so we're all square with that? All right. That was your motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. All right,
Motion to lift 2314S.
we've already lifted those, didn't we lift them all at one time?
They were
Oh,
all
we did.
lifted at once.
Okay.
We get one.
Now you're just going through approvals individually.
Yep.
So they're all lifted.
Yes,
So we don't have to lift again?
yep, oh, now we've got to do,
Come on,
No,
Stephanie.
no.
Lifted one.
She
We
just
only lifted one
She,
item.
Her motion
thank you.
was just to lift the first one.
All right. can I make a motion to lift all of the rest of them, and then we'll deal with them one at a time? So we can have one lift vote and,
I don't
Yes.
see why not, as long
You
as it's
need to
clear in the
name
minutes.
what you're lifting.
sure. So I make a motion to lift from the table application 2314S, 2312V, 2313S, 2311V, and 2311AV.
I'll
Right.
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Can't discuss.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. 3, all opposed? 1.
Let me double check one thing, no problem with that motion. The master plan includes both the north tract and the west tract, correct?
No, we didn't go
No,
over the
just the
north
west.
track.
That's the west tract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right,
Is there a separate master plan for the north 9 acres? Or is it just a,
So
I think it's a
the,
different zoning category that doesn't have the master plan. I think we have to come, we have
the
to come back
rezoning for
and
the
do
9
that.
acres, when we get to that one, the north one was
That's an
already
AR.
approved in the fall of 2024.
gotcha, okay. Thank you, just double checking.
okay,
Okay.
just,
It's
I
been
want
a
to make sure
while.
I understand what the issue is with Commissioner Flowers Taylor. Is there something I might have missed here?
So these are two different things. And us approving the master plan and giving a special, if we give a special exception, if we don't give a special exception, then you don't get to the place where you can start asking for variances. Because one makes the other move. But the other one that is at 5 is something totally different
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and is not to be confused with this one. That's.
I'm not making any motions on that yet. We're gonna talk about that in a second. I just wanted to go ahead and lift it all at once, so we didn't have to vote. 6
we're
times.
talking on the west side of
Yes.
Jordan Hill, everything that's on there right now. That's what we're talking about. Okay. All right. All right, let's go with,
So now for my motion for 2314S. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we need, anybody else want to talk about the west side again?
no,
Okay, then I motion to approve 2314S with staff conditions and the additional condition of the acoustic dampening wall on the west, south, and east sides, as discussed.
I'll second.
all right. Gwen, I can't, yeah.
I'm just looking down. I'm good.
Okay, all right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. 4-0, motion carries. David, you're okay with all this? I'm just looking at you in case you have some statement in here you want to jump in.
No, I'm good.
Okay? All right. Next,
Motion to approve 2312V with staff conditions and the additional condition as discussed tonight, the 3 sides of wall, acoustic dampening wall.
okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion, anything from you, Mr. Davidson?
No,
On it?
thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I have a huge problem with this.
Second one?
I have a huge problem with this because, first of all, a cluster home says already it's gonna be tight. And if we start reducing the side setback and the front setback and the rear setback, first of all, we're creating a stormwater misery. There's a creek down at the very bottom of where these properties are going downhill. Once it's cleared, that's gonna affect that creek differently. But what is it that we want? That's why we created the requirement for what a cluster home should be, what we expected it to look like in the front, how much space we want from the side. And this is just basically saying, don't do that. I'm not good with that. Because we give everybody else hell about making sure they got enough space around their house and, yeah. I mean, I already feel like it's tight. I feel like Sun City is tight, you know, and maybe some places in Heron Bay.
Are these the same? If this was approved, it would be the same setbacks that across the street on the east side has, like sort of tight like that. Is it the same
Correct.
measurements?
Actually, I think the issue is in your zoning, you have a funny setback category, which allows setbacks of, I can't remember, 0 to 15 feet, which is a weird, usually it's a minimum 5 feet or something like that. With the 0, that sort of leaves it very odd. You could do 1 foot on each side and have buildings too close together. So the wording in this changes it to, it's at 0.2, but with a minimum of 10 feet between buildings. So we can't cram the two of them. You might slide one a little bit closer aside, whatever. You always have to have a minimum of 10 feet between them, which goes to Commissioner Taylor's concern of managing storm drainage,
So-
and proximity and fire safety and all that kind of
Eli, if you will, go to that master plan again, and then up in the top right corner, it summarizes the variances. The variances are very similar. Whoops. That's the presentation thing.
If I could
Across
grab
the
it.
There it goes.
There we go.
I could probably
Zoom in
grab
up
this.
there on the top right.
Can I switch this for you? I think, oh, this is in our presentation, sorry.
Yeah.
We had it summarized in big print where we could all see it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oops.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Anyway,
Is this mine?
the setbacks that you have on here are the 20-foot front setback is similar to Sun City. However, you have here listed,
That's 20 foot from the sidewalk,
right,
not
You
20
have-
feet from the street.
you have 20 feet between buildings, but that's the rear setback.
I think when we
Fine.
originally applied for this, it was a 25-foot front setback. We were requesting 20, and then we withdrew that. We're fine with the 25 front. That's why it's not on that list.
Can you go back to what we were saying in the blue? All right, requested variances, number one, there's an issue here. So we're reduce side yards from 0 to 15 to 0 to 8 foot with a minimum of 10 foot.
The
That-
minimum 10
that
foot
reflects
flat
is that a-
structures is the fundamental.
That's the same as Sun City with the minimum 10 feet between structures, excuse me.
So we're really just changing it to a minimum of 10 foot between structures.
Right, 0 to 15 works as well. There's something about your category that we had to switch to the 0 to 8 with minimum of 10.
That's what our ordinance says, 0 to 15 feet. I don't ever remember us letting anybody have a side setback
Of
that
0.
was 1 or 5.
No, you haven't.
The city of Griffin does, but
We actually did them in Heron Bay in the active adult section. It's an interesting design. The house is shifted right up to the one property line. So it's essentially 0. And that wall is blank and the next house is the same. So instead of using the backyard, they use the side yard. So the house kind of opens to the side. And that's the design concept, I think, why it's there originally from 20 years ago. But it doesn't work very well. We're back to this is more traditional houses, that you don't want, most of the traditional houses will have windows on their sides, and you don't want that pushed right up against the side yard. So that's the reason. I don't know, it was David or somebody prior to him just said, we need a minimum of 10 feet between the houses.
So that would hold sway over the other numbers. The minimum 10 feet between structures would trump the other ones.
Right. And the 10 feet is two issues. One you've raised, which is drainage management. And the second one is fire code. When you get closer to 10 feet, then you have to fire rate both walls and you have to start removing windows to give maximum amount of window space, which obviously you don't want to limit windows in a house, so.
I think my house is 10 foot. I think my house is 10 foot.
Nothing.
Peter, do you think yours is about 10 feet?
Like I can tell you, all Sun City has the same. It's all minimum 10 feet between structures. There might be an occasional one that's wider on a, cul-de-sac
Okay,
or.
yeah.
because of how it falls.
Yeah. And I'll tell you a little, just a little awkward. Sometimes when you get the houses designed the way they are, lined up side by side, one of the ones, we have a bathroom and there's a window there. It's all opaque glass and everything else. The next house over didn't shift quite that far. And the place that they have their dining room table looks straight into that bathroom. Now, you can't see anything. You can just see a shadow move. But the people who had it said, we feel like we're perverts because we see somebody moving around inside a bathroom. And so they had just a little wall,
Privacy fence, but-
privacy fence to put it there.
Then we-
But 10 feet is pretty damn close.
So it's 10 feet to your property line from your house and then 10 feet from their property line to their house? Or just 10 feet between the both of y'all?
in total.
Feet total.
Oh, come on.
Feet total.
And then it changes slightly yet again because the builders aren't dead on precise with their setbacks. So we started in Sun City, I think they've continued, I'm not sure. They make all the lots, instead of being, in this case, 50 feet, they're 52 feet wide. And what that does is allow a couple things, allows just slight error. And it also allows, if they put brick on the side, adds 4 inches. So every builder has the 50-foot lot with a 40-foot plan is basically every builder in the country. They either have 40-foot or 38-foot wide plans for 50-foot lots. So literally every builder in the country, and I would bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if half the houses in the country are built on 50-foot lots. It's a sort of the perfect prototype size that fits.
And let me give you some examples of some stuff that really gets in the way. Air conditioners, now they're just about so big.
Yeah.
But in 10 feet, 2 or 3 feet are taken care of with air conditioners. And if you're not watching, you know, if you can't have the air conditioner on the other side, or you don't have any space to be able to get lawnmowers and things like that through. But our house, and the houses I've seen, have all been offset enough so that they don't line up. But the air conditioners, now, a number of them are all on the right side, and then right side, right side, right side. But you can ask the house in Sun City to flip it around so it's on the left side, and those have awkwardness to be able through. 10 feet is, for us, is okay.
So,
If you go back, oh, I'm sorry.
you go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you go back 20, 25 years, the builders managed a lot of their drainage, all the rear yards, when the water had to flow to the street, or vice versa, if it was flowing to the back. They would do like little drainage channels between the houses, so that 10-foot would be like a little swale, right? And the water would run down the middle. And they've realized how flawed that is because of HVAC equipment or people change their grade. So now what they do is they put a high point instead of the middle of the house, and the water goes to the front or the back. And then they actually build a new set of drains behind the house, which they never used to do 25 years ago. Now there's a separate drain line that runs through the backyard. So usually every second, sometimes every third house has a drain. So the water goes back into the yard in a way, rather than running between the houses.
Swell back there to be able to do that, move the water back and forth. I'm okay with 10 feet, but for somebody who has never been that close together,
Right.
Gwen may swallow hard on that.
If this was a builder that hadn't had the success that they've had in our community, if this was,
Yep.
you know, some stranger that had never built here before, I'd go, 10 feet, man, I don't know. I grew up next to Waterfall in Ellis. I don't think so. But because what we've got across the street is the same builder that's building essentially extensions of that same, and it's been such a success, I don't really have, I have to trust them that this will continue to be a success. And if it's half as successful as Sun City has been, then it's going to be great. So.
Oh, but I don't have to trust them.
No,
And
true.
so
That's
back to my other point is that this is not Sun City that he's talking about developing. These people will have a green space and a gazebo. The people across the street have tons of amenities, okay? So you can't measure, they're not apples and oranges. So, yeah, you may be okay with your house being 10 feet apart, but you also got a swim center, you got a golf course, you got a blah, blah, blah. Okay, these people are not those people. They're not those people.
Yeah.
And so we cannot, just because it's across the street from Sun City, don't make it Sun City. Grayson Park. Grayson Park. I don't know, Brian does a great job, but I don't know they're not gonna sell this to somebody else and they're gonna Grayson Park us. If we don't get the information we need on the front, I'm just simply saying they're not the same amenities across the street that would say, okay, I'm okay with having only 10 feet between my apartment because I got all this other stuff. That's not the case across the street, okay?
All right, so
I see you guys say you're fine with 10 feet. I want to know from David, what is the rear setback, our ordinance for the rear setback?
So it is typically, I know for Sun City, it's 20, I think it's 25 on here. Let me look at that plan real quick. is 20 feet.
And the variance would be to reduce it to what?
So the variance doesn't cover, if you go back to that blue screen, Eli,
There's no variance for the rear yard.
yeah, it just covers the front and the sides.
Okay, but the paper says a variance to reduce the front, side, and rear setbacks. That's what it says, item 2312V. Going by the paper.
I
Is
think,
there
I think
another
if you
page
say
to
that
this?
you
Are there
won't
more
reduce the
questions?
rear yard setback, that's fine, because there's no intent to do that. Just to give you the depth parameter, because of the square footage minimum of the lots, if you take the front yard, the typical depth of the house, the smallest backyard will be about 50 feet. And obviously some will be bigger and deeper than that. So none of the houses are gonna get within 30 feet of the rear setback line.
So you don't need anything to reduce the rear setback?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're asking for a side setback?
Only side, we originally asked for front, which was 25, and we asked it to reduce to 20. But then, once we've talked to everybody, we've just decided to leave it at 25, so we also do not need a front.
Okay. I can
So
live
the
with that.
minimum side, what do we want to make it? I mean, it says here 15 feet.
No, he's asking for a variance to 10.
Yes, I mean,
10 feet between buildings.
8 between buildings,
10.
10.
I understand that this needs to be there. I just didn't think we needed to shrink the lot because it said front, back, and rear, and that's what I had a problem with.
So we've eliminated the rear,
And we eliminated
the
the front.
front. So we're just talking about how close out.
I'm
zero-
good with what y'all say. Whatever y'all.
Yeah, you have a minimum lot size. It's really just a question of where the house can be positioned on the lot. You don't want it to be pushed too far to the back, of, annoying the person behind and those kind of decisions. So.
All right, I have a motion and a second.
It would need to be amended for the information that was just provided because the motion was for the staff recommendations, which indicated the front, side, and rear setbacks.
So this is just rear now, or I'm
No,
sorry,
it's just
side.
Okay, then I'll amend my motion to remove
Just to make it side.
just make it side.
Same on the second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those,
Are we good with that? Is that parliamentarily, are we good where we're at then?
I don't have any issue with
Okay,
that.
I'm just making sure that we're,
all right, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
wouldn't want the Sun City folks to sue us and make us come back and revote after a Superior Court hearing,
One brief point, James, on this. Remember, when this first came up, we had not done any work under 1405 and consolidated applications. This is 3 years ago, almost.
yeah.
All right, so you'll be getting a second reading ordinance on this, just like you would on North Talladega or on, well, the last one was the data center. It will be more detailed, and put in more formal proceedings than what you have seen recently, or before at that time.
All right, on to 5.
All right, go.
All right. Number 5, lift from the table application 2313S Minerva Spring Lake LP, owner parcel 239040062, approximately 9.278 acres located in land lot 183 of the Third Land District. The applicant is requesting a special exception to allow cluster dwellings traditional design. This property is currently zoned AR agricultural and residential. Lift from the table application 2311V, Minerva Spring Lake LP, owner parcel 239040062, approximately 9.278 acres located in land lot 183 of the Third Land District. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce front and side setbacks. Lift from the table application 2311AV, Minerva Spring Lake LP, owner parcel 239040062, approximately 9.278 acres located in land lot 183 of the Third Land District. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the length and diameter of the cul-de-sacs.
There's no public hearing required. The hearing was in 2023 and 2024. The option to lift from the table was last on the agenda on October 24. I would entertain a motion regarding the lifting from the table of item 2313S, 2311V, and 2311VA. Application 2306Z was approved to R1 with conditions on the October 24, 2024. Layout was also revised to shorten cul-de-sacs and provide a buffer/berm between the development and Sun City. All right. Do I have a motion to lift from the table all those that I read?
We already lifted it.
Already lifted.
Yes, you've already lifted it.
Okay. All right, David?
So I do remember the history of this one back in October 2020. You did rezone to R1, so the application 2306Z, you had an action on that. So now that remains is the special exception and the two variances. I remember at the time, the cul-de-sacs were shortened. Levi, if you can go to that master plan. It reflects all the changes from the fall of 2024. And then there was a berm/buffer on the south side of this between this place and Peachtree City, Sun City, to have a tree preservation zone and some elevation there so that you couldn't see this subdivision
Go back
from
up to the
Sun
map.
City.
One more.
That was,
Yeah, that's the wrong.
yep, it is. It's the wrong map.
That might be clearer.
Right. There we go.
Okay, that was the original one, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the revised.
Go back between them.
Much, quite a bit longer
The
cul-de-sacs.
revised is less lots, right?
That's one less.
It's less lots. The most critical thing for them, they obviously didn't care about the lot count, but they cared about the preservation of that tree, the trees in that corridor at the end of the.
Yes,
And
yes.
they also asked us to reduce the, not build the detention pond so close, so we've pulled it back as well.
I see.
And it was a two-tier. When you stand behind their house, those people have about I'm gonna say 6 to 8 foot berm behind that's planted on the side, but the top is not. And then behind that, they see the pine trees, which are just, all the telephone poles with this stuff. So they wanted to keep that upper canopy there, but in the gap in between, which is the top of the berm, it's about a 40-foot wide, 30-foot wide berm. It's fairly wide berm, which is just barren with weeds on it, was to plant on that, which would then create a canopy that would kind of cover the
middle.
the middle part, which is the telephone poles. And then the way the topography is, their view is basically up above their berm into trees, basically, the way that's been designed this way.
And how about the other way, from your property into Sun City?
We won't see them, I think, just between the trees,
they're
the
uphill, right?
buffer, everything else, they'll be pretty detached. Yeah, I mean, they're, you never know, there might be a house with a view corridor somewhere, but I don't think so. I think that it's pretty dense there, and up through that, valley, which the buffer zone, it tends to be thicker, that tends to be, that'll be the area where there'd be more deciduous trees that might thin out a little bit in the winter.
So, one of the requirements is that a buffer is placed on the south end of this piece of property,
Yeah, that's it.
adjacent to the actual houses that are already there?
In that green spot there, right?
You can see, if you flick the back and forth between the plans, you can see how that, if you look at the bottom of the plan,
So is that gonna be an undisturbed buffer or a planted buffer? Because obviously it's going downhill from where that is.
it's two-tier. That piece is undisturbed, it's existing trees, but south of us, there's a strip of land. The lots in Sun City have a 50-foot wide, I guess, open space behind them, which is a buffer, and it's on that buffer where they wanted us to plant trees.
A combination of existing and planted.
Yeah, it's a combination of both.
All right, so let me make sure I got this. In the backside there, there's a upslope for them. There's nothing on top of it.
Correct. The
Correct.
upslope is well planted, yeah,
And so you're talking about planting
on top. yeah.
on top, off the Sun City property.
The planting would actually be on the Sun City property, be in the open space of Sun City.
Okay, so Sun City's you're gonna, however, work that And then, so now there will be, a big berm with trees above it.
It'll be a planted berm with trees on top of it, and then the berm actually drops well off behind our property, and then there's trees that will then come above it. So they'll see their 8 feet of planted berm, plus they've got evergreens. They'll see the new trees we plant on top, which will be from, I guess, height 10 foot to 20 foot, 25 feet. And then above that will be the existing trees that will be left.
Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way it is from Sun City. How is it, what do they see coming this way?
It's the same. We get we get the same benefit.
Okay.
So it's a two-way benefit for
Okay,
sure.
I just wanted to make sure, we're not only focused on, all right? So,
No, thank you for,
I'd like to find a way to really encourage these planted berms. I know Dr. Ledbetter is allergic to them, but I'm a huge fan of magnolias and camellias. They're also evergreens, but they also bloom.
Right.
And when you make a planted barrier of, cedar trees or whatever, it's obviously like a planted barrier, and you're like, oh, this is clearly like a growing sight fence. Whereas if it's, I don't know if you've been near Whitewater High School, when you make that turn there, there's this neighborhood, and they planted these magnolias, and now they're gigantic. But it's a solid green wall that blooms, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? I get that they drop leaves, but at the same time, same thing with the camellias. The camellias bloom in December too. So like in the middle of winter, you've got these gorgeous plants that'll bloom 2 or 3 times a year, and so they're great for middle growth. I had that thought, not necessarily limiting it to here, but I wanted to talk to the board.
Yeah.
Last time I was coming in 16 down our industrial corridor, there's the berms and stuff, and I just thought, man, how cool would it be if this was just lined with a very southern traditional, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't just be a bunch of
Pine
cypresses and whatever. It would be like, look at this entrance to Spalding County, you know what I mean? Like, so I'd like to do something to sort of incentivize, not just, oh, you got a planted barrier, here's my pines, but like something that's going to make it real, like, it makes it a
David,
little
you're
bit more
supposed to know
grandiose.
all about this.
Anyway,
I thought we were going for function.
I think
didn't know we
here
were
on
going
that
for
on that side
necessarily
we
for
are.
aesthetics, and we're trying to block out sound and light and stuff like that.
I think you're right here, but that
Long
shot
range.
that in my mind, and I went, hey, let's
Start thinking about it that way too.
how much better would 1941 South be if it was lined with these magnolias and was gorgeous like that? You know what I'm saying? It would be this nice entrance to the county as opposed to
You could do both with camellias, block out sound and. it's
yeah,
green.
yeah, exactly. And they're evergreen. They work.
and if
All
you're
right.
patient, you can plant
We would-
small, young stuff.
That's right.
Very cost efficiently, and it grows, and just time goes by, we may not see the end result, but it's fantastic just watching it grow, if it's thought out well enough, and
Yep.
the trade-off is when you plant small stuff, you have to space them knowing what they're gonna look like in 20 years,
Yep.
and people may not see the vision yet, so you've gotta have a little bit of patience, but yeah, you can make something look, you can create those great linear corridors, or you can create sort of a natural looking area. It's all in the design.
And if you did sort of that zigzag, that offset double line with the camellias, it wouldn't take 20 years. Those are gorgeous plants.
In the case of this buffer, what we actually said to them was, we're open, we kind of pick any species, and
Yep.
it's them that'll be looking at it more than any. So we actually talked about working with them on picking species, but then also when we're planting them, they'll stand in their back window and go, there's no point putting it directly behind another evergreen, let's shift it here, adjust it, and make a little bit of field change. That's always the best way to get the best end result, is to actually stand and look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
what the end result is. And it takes, instead of having a landscape architect, you spend $50,000 on a plan.
Right,
It's
right.
a bunch of circles. You instead pay the guy to be on site for the days when you're planting and directing it and moving it around, and it's way better way to spend money. You get far better results.
Okay. All right,
Agreed.
we'll think
Sorry
through
for
that.
the-
No.
Thing. All right.
You're right.
I would urge us to avoid the Bradford pears.
Yes.
that
No,
claim
those
the
should be
county.
banned. We should have a bounty on them. I hate the plant. It's a non-native invasive species. It's got to go. What do you say, Glenn?
David, the requirements or the items that you wanted added to this staff recommendations, did that include an egress lane for traffic?
It has the, if you look at where it says Jordan Hill Road, it has the, decel lane there.
Okay, we didn't talk about this on the other side of the street, but is there one on that as well?
I think there was.
I saw one. From,
Yes, ma'am, there is.
Okay, so my other concern is, it is on there?
Yes.
My other concern is that what is going to be, the negative impact of reducing the cul-de-sac in terms of emergency vehicles?
Yeah, that's been solved. We were originally proposing to go from 120 feet down to 100 foot. That's the right of way, with an 80-foot diameter cul-de-sac. That gives you 10 foot of right of way around the outside of it. Your fire department changed their requirements back before we did this 4 years ago, and you now have a 96-foot asphalt circle. So when you add the 10 foot around it, that becomes 116 feet. So your ordinance now is 120. We're just asking to go from 120 to 116. So it's a 4-foot reduction. That basically gives you the turn radius that your fire trucks demand, and then you have a perfect 10-foot wide right of way around it, which is the ideal for, you know, all the utilities and everything else.
David, so this is good, I'm sorry. Fire department's good with this 116 feet.
I believe so, because as he said, the turnaround on the pavement edge is 96. So if you did 116, that's an additional 10 feet of right of way outside of the pavement edge, so it should work.
What do you mean 10 feet of right of way? You got some more concrete on the outside of the asphalt?
This would be,
It's usually planter strip and a sidewalk.
right.
It's the grass
Typical
strip.
would be,
But can a fire truck ride on that?
It can, as long as the curbs are rounded instead of squared off. It affords the trucks to ride up on the edge of the concrete.
Everything in Sun City's rounded.
That's correct.
How wide are the cul-de-sacs at Sun City?
They were developed before the change for the new standards of 120 feet, so they're smaller than expected in
80?
the older portion. The newer portions, David is requiring them to be 120 feet.
Yeah, so your asphalt, all the old ones between, well, everywhere, Sun City and Heron Bay are all 80 foot of asphalt, and they're now 96 as of the last 5 years, I guess, or something.
It gets tense in there when they start trying to turn around. It's, yes.
I mean, and if you have an ambulance and you have a fire truck and you have the sheriff, once that fire truck gets in there, there's
stuck.
no place for anybody to turn around in there. So I was just concerned about that.
But we've corrected that problem. We don't allow that anymore. We now have it large enough to be able to do it. Okay. All right, any other questions?
That request was for variance for length and diameter of the cul-de-sacs. How much did we reduce the length?
You have a maximum of 300 feet. I don't even know what they are in the plan, sorry. Oops, sorry.
I mean, it comes to the edge of the street, so I mean,
There you go. Those two, whatever those lengths are, I could add it up.
The lots are how wide?
Each of those culls, they're both about 350, 380 feet long, and your ordinance allows a maximum of 300 feet.
okay, so you don't need to get a variance to reduce the length.
Oh, the maximum is 300, so
yeah,
you have
the length is a maximum, not a minimum.
a little bit over on that, so, but I think it's a doable, 50 to 80 feet over is not horrible. It's not 500 or 1,000 or anything.
I think the reason for it in the code, I believe, typically is if you have a big, long cul-de-sac that's, 1,000, 2,000 feet long,
Right.
and people that live down there, and then you have an accident or something at the front end of it, it leaves a lot of people trapped behind. So basically a long dead-end road, which becomes an issue for fire, police, everything else. So they basically try to keep them shorter for that reason, so you don't have these huge, long dead-end roads.
So do you need a variance on the left? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes. And here they are up here. Are they, is this on your screen in front of you as well, or?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah,
One is
so
about
th- those-
350 feet in length, one's about 380, so a little bit of a variance there.
So we're asking him to bring it down to 300?
No, he's asking for the variance.
To increase to 350 or 380.
Your code is.
He's asking us to allow him 60 or 80 feet further.
Okay, but it says a variance is to reduce the length.
Is to,
Area.
yes, it's to vary from the maximum, which
Yeah,
is
allow
300.
maximum cul-de-sac length to exceed 300 foot.
One
Okay,
is
when
three.
y'all seeing that?
Number two.
Number two,
Okay. Okay, so you're not reducing the length.
no,
Okay, so that should be
we're getting longer.
increasing. Increasing the length of the driveway and reducing for the diameter, reducing the diameter by 4 feet. So just reducing the diameter.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I understand now.
Okay,
Okay, what about the side yard on corner lots?
That's just every corner lot, again, in your ordinance is a 35-foot side yard. We would just typically not space them that far away from the corner.
It's the same, I believe, as the 30-acre one, right?
It's the same in everything we've done in, essentially, you end up with a big kind of vacant side yard beside houses on corners.
So, but if you got a house on the corner, your side yard on the side is facing the street, would that be 10 feet to the sidewalk or 10 feet to the road?
10 foot to the right of way, so that would be 20, depending on the right of way, 23 to 28 feet from the road.
But part of that's gonna include sidewalk, right?
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
So basically, you're getting the same thing on the side that you're getting in the middle.
You'd
10
have,
feet.
basically from your curb, you'd have 5 foot of grass, say, 5-foot sidewalk, and then 13 to 18 feet to the house. And right now you have about 25 feet of that, so you have, 38 feet to the side of the house. It's always been a design problem when you have these huge side yards throughout the neighborhoods. People leave them junky, they don't maintain them as well. It's an aesthetic problem we deal with, and then some people, then you go, oh, I got a great big side yard, and they'll put up a trampoline and start to park cars there and everything, and you want them to focus on their driveway and their backyard, not on the side yard. That's sort of the design reason for it.
Okay, can y'all show us the picture one more time of that, the master plan for the 9 acres? I just wanna get a side lot look, one more time, and then I'll leave y'all alone.
please.
Okay. Okay, so the lot that's facing nearest the street is gonna have a buffer
On Jordan Buffer
on
and
Jordan Hill Road, yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
So there's gonna be a however many feet buffer anyway before you even get to their property line
correct.
from the street. Okay.
If we do these at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up doing the same fence detail anyway, just because of the
Okay,
benefit
I mean,
there.
I see it now, so yeah, they're not right on the road, they're gonna have a buffer between them and the road.
You can see the one corner lot, this is the only lot on it, it's a corner lot, lot 1. How we make it a little wider, that allows you to keep the house a little bit away from the corner, but not too far, it's sort of a balanced size.
Yeah. Okay, so I got my notes, reduce the, lengthen the driveway, decrease the diameter of the cul-de-sac, plus reduce the front and side setbacks, that's from 11V. Front and side setbacks, same thing that we requested on the other side, are you still requesting for the front and the setbacks, or just the side setbacks?
Just the side, we do not need the front.
Okay, so that motion should not include reducing the front setbacks. Okay,
Raise your
okay.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make the motion to, did we already do the first one? 23S, 2313S?
No, we have not. We need
Okay, so I'd like to make a
2313
motion
and AB.
to approve the special exception to allow cluster dwellings traditional style under application 23-13S. With the staff recommendations.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the request for variance for side setbacks for application 23-11B.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
With staff, I'm sorry, guys, with staff recommendations.
And you, Ryan, yours?
I'm
Yep.
second on that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve a variance to lengthen the driveway and reduce the diameter of the cul-de-sacs under application 23-11AB.
Extend the length.
Extend the length of the driveway.
Of the cul-de-sac.
No,
The street.
Of the
Yeah.
cul-de-sac.
Our cul-de-sac law right now says only 300 foot long. They want to make them longer.
350 and 380.
so is that the street or is that the
The street.
cul-de-sac?
The street.
Street.
Streets with cul-de-sacs can't be more than 300 foot. They're asking for 350 and 380.
Which is,
Okay, so my variance was to extend the length of the cul-de-sac to 350 feet.
and
And
380.
decrease the diameter of the cul-de-sac from 120 feet to 116 feet.
Okay,
And staff recommendations to go
all
along.
right. Are we all, everybody okay with that? Making sure we got all that right? David?
Yes.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate your understanding and what you've done to make this right for us.
You're welcome. You're going into executive session now?
Yes.
They are. David, you gotta say, I'll just update you on DR Horton architecture stuff.
Okay.
David's like,
If I-
I'm out.
Thank you.
Item number 5, executive session. Excuse me, sorry.
Yes, sir. Executive session, consultation with the county attorney or other legal counsel to discuss or deliberate on the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee as authorized under OCGA subsection 5014-3B2, and to conduct an executive session for discussion and authorization of negotiation related to the acquisition, sale, disposition, or lease of real property as permitted under OCGA subsection 5014-3B1B, where public discussion could adversely affect the county's position. And, do you read out the legal one? Because I don't have that handy.
Oh,
I've got it. And, sorry, please forgive me. And under Georgia Open Meetings Act, OCGA 5014-3, authorized under OCGA 5014-3B1A for the purpose of discussing pending or potential litigation with legal counsel. This session is limited to matters involving legal strategy and advice related to claims, settlement, negotiations, or judicial actions affecting the county. That way we have all three.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to go into executive session for the
Aforementioned.
reasoning.
All right.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're in executive session. We will be back out. We hope shortly.
Maybe.
Let's go. Do we need anything with this package? No. Thank you, man. Oh, thank you. I thought you were going on a potty break.
should have. Yeah. You never know. Get him to sign all this stuff.
I'm watching the tape when I got assaulted.
Oh, wow.
Took place last week.
Where was that at? In the parking lot back here?
I'm sorry?
Was it in the parking lot back here?
No, you know where Southern Kid is?
Huh?
It was in the, park, it was in the entrance to that, tent, that, tent's windshields or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It was over there.
Okay.
My trial coming up soon, I wanna make sure, I wanna take certain excerpts from it.
Trial.
Well, he was arrested, put in jail for it. You knew that.
That was Michelle.
I'm sorry?
That was Michelle.
Oh, no, it was her campaign lawyer that did it. No, she never quit talking the whole time. Didn't stop or anything. Just kept talking. No, it was a guy. 17 minutes ago.
Okay. Were they back there then?
ChatGPT is not a lawyer. You're in a situation where you think you might need an attorney, go hire one. Okay. I just, what are they doing back there?
I only knew of one, so.
I'm sorry?
I said I only knew of one item back there, but apparently they,
No, he's posting. Oh, James, come on.
ferments, it's leaving, water leaving the facility via evaporation.
Thanks so much.
Wait for our chair. There he is. Motion to come out of executive session.
All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're out of executive session.
One more
to
thing, right before,
adjourn.
well, right before we adjourn, I wanted to talk about, when we approved the third data center, we said no evaporative coolant systems. What was anticipated by that rule and that stipulation was systems that use evaporation wherein the water leaves the site and leaves their system. We specifically said, like recirculated water, we wanted to, so it uses less water. There is a method of recycling the water in a closed loop where one of the steps is evaporation. But that's just inside their own pipes and whatever. But they went, hey, wait a minute, you said no evaporation whatsoever. I think the intent of all of us was evaporation that then leaves
External.
and they have to get more water.
Yes.
That was certainly my intent when I said it, as opposed to limiting some sort of technology that can be used in a closed loop. Right? Am I?
Right, but if evaporation happens in a closed loop, it's still a closed loop. There's no
Exactly right.
chance of contamination.
So as long as, the key is closed loop, not no evaporation.
Right.
The key is in engineering people who are looking at it and saying, if you say this, I can't say that.
Right.
If you say this, we're good to go.
The intent is
Okay.
water stays in the system and is a closed loop.
Right. Evaporation may very well
Yeah.
occur and then recondensation,
Right.
but it's in a closed loop.
Yep.
Okay, now can I say motion to adjourn?
Yes. Second.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're adjourned.
We should,